Hello, YouTube. Pilot Wannabe here. And, well, we're on the ground in Burbank, and we're ready to do the I-5. Let me disconnect from PilotEdge briefly here. All right. So, unfortunately, I've been having some microphone issues, and I wasn't sure I was getting through. Had to reboot. So, now here I am. And I just got my clearance, and I realized I wasn't recording. So now that we're all fired up, I've got my clearance. We're cleared to Las Vegas via the Van Nuys 2 departure, Dega transition up to 4,000, 19,000 in 10 minutes. Departure frequency 134.2 and squawk 2213. So we've got that. And we've also got Burbank Addons, but it's a little dated now, so let's have another listen to it.
And hold short operations in effect. All VFR departures, contact clearance delivery with your aircraft type, initial heading, and requested cruise altitude. Advise on initial contact you have Delta. Burbank Airport information Delta. 2053 Zulu. Wind 150 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky clear below 1,000. Temperature 17. 2.6. Altimeter 3012. Visual approach runway 8, in use. 4 stacked visual approach runway 15 in use. Departing runway 15. 8. Read back all runway assignments. And
all right.
Short.
So it's changed slightly, but not that much. Winds are 150 at 6, visibility is 10, clear below 12,000, and altimeter 3012. So let's get squared away in our aircraft. All right, so, well, first of all, let's go avionics master off. And let's start this beast. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of low time in this aircraft, 17 hours. And I haven't flown it in a couple weeks, except for this morning. Had a short flight, just made sure she worked. All right, so if I understand this correctly, let's check our lights. Nav lights are on, and we don't have a beacon on this aircraft, which is kind of strange. Okay, parking brake is set, fuel is on, and we have fuel. How much fuel do we have? 15.4 on the left, 15.4 on the right. We got lots. I think we do. Fuel and payload. Well, it's just me and nobody else. And let's go 75 just for the heck of it. All right, so now we got lots of fuel and we're lightweight. Great shape. All right, so fuel pump on. All right, and I'm not sure if we're supposed to leave it on, but we're going to turn it off. And fuel and mixtures all the way. Crack the throttle. Clear prop. Oh, we're supposed to close the canopy before we start. All right. All right. We are started, and let's bring those RPMs down. So I got the throttle all the way back. It seems to be idling high, but I think it's the quirk of this very powerful 400 horsepower engine. So we'll bump her up to almost 1,000 RPM. All right, and it's going to take a little while for the temperature and pressure. So we've got PSI is at 40 and rising, and temperature is rising. It seems to rise really quick in this aircraft. All right, let's check our annunciators. Okay. So put on the alternator, and that light has gone away. That's good. So we need to have elevator trim at 33 or thereabouts, and it is. Avionics master can go on. And I think that's all we need. We'll put the pitot heat on. Alright. So just to make sure we're squared away, tower is 118.7. That's in there.
TOS, system test okay.
And departure, we were just given that. It was 134.2. Alright. And ground is 123.9. Okay, and that's all we need there. Ground, then to tower, and then to departure. Alright. So we're monitoring ground right now, even though there doesn't seem to be a whole lot happening. Ah, because PilotEdge is not connected. Alright, so let's go to flight plan. And we'll go to menu, catalog, where I've stored my flight plan. Just got tired of re-entering it all the time. Okay. And let's go to the map. Alright. So I don't know what runway we're assigned, but we're going to figure that out pretty darn quick. Let me go to our taxiway drawing here. So I'm over by Atlantic, by Delta 8. Excuse me, there. And it's either going to be runway 8 or runway 15. Okay. So if we zoom in here, it's either runway 8 over here or taxi over here down to Bravo to runway 15. Those are our options right now. Okay, so let's connect the PilotEdge and give a listen for where we can make our call.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha, how are you getting over to Brown? One of the transitions? Or the court?
And our squawk is 2213.
Perfect.
And we can go altitude reporting right now.
French Valley Airport, Taipei 6000.
Alright, so not quite sure I went over this, but we'll brief our departure again right now. So we're on the Van Nuys 2 departure, and depending which runway, I've practiced on 28 or 08 already, and we turn to a heading of 210, and we'll probably get radar vectors direct to Van Nuys, and we'll leave Van Nuys on the 255, then the 323 from Los Angeles to Twine, then Ventura 046, and then Palmdale 218. And it might be a little bit hectic to start, but should be alright. And we're going to do this slat alpha even though we've got the GTN 750 for backup. So Ventura, let's see what radio we have in here. We have all the wrong okay, Van Nuys 111.3.
You're leaving my airspace.
111.3, and that is the Van Nuys. No, did I get that right? Oh, wrong. 113.1. Damn. 113.1. And it's identified. It's Van Nuys VOR. Correct. Then it's 113.6 for LAX.
Are you going to give me a name, please?
0.6.
OICNG, I will when you get in the pattern here. I don't know what you're doing. You're outside of my airspace right now.
All right. That guy we're hearing, he just failed his V3. He busted Bravo airspace over LAX, and now he's trying to get back.
Understood.
Okay.
OICNG, enter a right base from a 29 right.
So I've got how to say that? Los Angeles LAX 113 also dialed in on the secondary nav, and its heading is supposed to be 323. Okay, so we're all dialed in. We're going to go nav 1 for Van Nuys, LAX on nav 2, and then we're going to flip back to nav 1 for the Ventura, VOR at 108.2. Yeah, that's what we'll do. 108.2. So that should minimize our frequency swapping. And we only have to track one VOR for a short time with our secondary nav. And it should be a piece of cake after that. Alright, so we are tuned up at 123.9 for ground. So let's get spun around and make the call. Oh, let me check my altitude. Up to 4,000. Yes, we have that dialed in. The 19,000 in 10 minutes. Alright, I believe we're totally squared away. Alright, I'm gonna... Okay, we're gonna go to the edge of the movement area.
Runway 2 left, VFR to Ontario with flight advisory, with VFR advisory.
This is 72 Sierra Team, go set for the bridge down altimeter 3016. Cover 73 Yankee Zulu John Wayne Tower, wind 190 at 7, runway 20 left to kilo, clip takeoff.
Takeoff, 3 Yankee Zulu, cleared with...
Boy, those brakes are sensitive.
Sky 2 Delta X-ray clear direct thermal vicinity, maintain 4,000.
Alright, so we are ready to go.
Sky 2 Delta X-ray, that's sorry, that is still correct. I just had to get you off the airway in order to get you to SIM. OICNG, runway 29 right, clear to land.
Bob Hope ground, Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey over by Atlantic with the weather, ready to taxi.
Taxi 316 Papa Whiskey, runway ground, runway 8, taxi via Delta.
Runway 8, taxi via Delta, 316 Papa Whiskey. Alright.
3 Yankee Zulu, radar contact, SoCo departure.
Okay, via Delta.
Over to departure, 3 Yankee Zulu.
Alright. And we're off the mark. And we are on our way for the I-5. And I feel confident we're going to do it in one shot. I've done it twice already, offline. First time was about a month ago when the PilotEdge had the free 2-week thing. And then the other one was this morning to make sure my aircraft and equipment were behaving properly. And it's a good thing because I found out my HSI on my Duke, like my Real Air Duke, was not working. So I managed to salvage it using the backup, but I had to do like a circle around the airport before I got squared away. Alright, so I feel good about today. We're doing it /alpha. We are not going to use the GPS until we get tired and at altitude or something. But we will utilize the autopilot. That much we will do. Because it will be a little busy.
Piaggio 22 Tango, contact Las Vegas approach 132.905. Piaggio 22 Tango negative 33905, 33905.
Alright, do our run up right here. Okay, and I even forget how far this thing is supposed to go. I think it's 2,000 RPM. not even holding. Maybe it's 18. All right. Just full on the mixture. All right. Exercise the prop. Not much happens. Okay. Still getting used to the Lancer here. And to idle.
Pepper 3 Yankees. Lou, what was your
Okay.
departure heading you were issued?
All right. So we are departing runway 08. So our heading is to be
Pepper 3 Yankees.
210.
Turn left to the heading 330.
We're supposed to depart, turn 210. And we are at 255.
It's a strike one. You're not a fail yet. Just be careful.
Sorry, 255. All right, so it's kind of weird.
This is 7 Charlie.
The radial is off to our left, but we're going to be turning right. So anyway, just to be aware of that. So we've got our trim. We've got flaps at 1/4. And we are ready to go. So let's go over to COM 1 and Burbank Tower. Yes, we'll just wait for our time to call. And so let's go lights. Don't need the panel lights. We'll go with the fuel boost. All right, so there's our lights. Our camera is active. Trim is set. Flaps are set. Action is make the call. Bob Hope Tower, Legacy, 316 Papa Whiskey, holding short at Delta, ready to depart.
Pepper 3 Yankee Blue, resume on navigation.
Okay, radio 1, we're on the tower. Bob Hope Tower, Legacy, 316 Papa Whiskey, holding short of runway 8 at Delta, ready for departure.
316 Papa Whiskey, Burbank Tower, wind 1506, runway 8, clear for takeoff.
Runway 8, clear for takeoff for Legacy, 316 Papa Whiskey.
This is 7250 Tango.
Right.
I was not able to copy your request. Say again, you're a little low on the volume.
Alright, so nobody in the pattern, nobody coming. Clear on the left. Alright. So perhaps we're not even going to get radar vectors. But we'll just fly the departure, the SID.
With just VOR navigation.
Alright, so here we are. Alright. Okay, so
you're saying you only take the Victor 23 to Dana.
Flaps set,
right,
trim set.
Turn right.
We are ready to go. Lights, camera, action. Let's go.
And you can pick up Victor 363 from there.
Alright, we're going to keep the manifold pressure at 29. We're not going to exceed 30. So we don't need it. So we can get by with a lot less. Alright, that's a close to 29. There's 80 knots.
That's a 2 Delta X-ray. Thermal Airport at Shadowplay, 5 miles, 25.
Well, there we go. Come on, come on, settle down.
The 2 Delta exit clear for your approach Thermal Airport.
Alright, positive rate. Gear up. Alright, we are trimmed at this rate. Okay, flaps up. Let's turn to, whoa, not that much. Let's turn to heading 210. Alright, let's pull back the props to 2400. And manifold pressure back to 27. Was that for 6 Papa Whiskey? Over to departure, 6 Papa Whiskey. SoCal departure, 6 Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, climbing through 2400 for 4000.
Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, SoCal departure radar, CAD climb and maintain 13,000, routine 4,000, departure routine 3,000. Turn right heading 340, Vector lane.
340 direct Lang, and I missed the rest.
XC6 Papa Whiskey, turn right, okay, you're now 3,000 now, so turn right heading 340, Vector for lane, climb maintain 13,000.
Climb maintain 13,000 and turn right heading 340 for vectors for Lang, 6 Papa Whiskey. Alright, let's get this sucker going. And heading. And 13,000.
Roger, 22 Tango, north Las Vegas Airport, extra 1 o'clock, 9 miles to contact.
Alright, so where the heck is Lang?
There's 7 Charlie Alpha accurate left.
Ah, I see it.
Alpha, and customer 26 left. It's 50 today.
Didn't have my ForeFlight turned on, so now it's active. Alright, so I have secondary backup for situational awareness. And, where's Lang again? Lang. Okay. Sorry, 340. Vectors for Lang. Alright. So, we can turn the fuel boost pump off now. And everything else can stay. We're doing good. Speed is good. 24 and 27 on the inches of mercury. We can do a little less. And we're climbing, so we can start to lean. So if we're getting vectors for Lang, Papa, it looks like it's going to be Palmdale, which is 114.5. So all of our hard planning was shortcutted, I think, with Geneva giving us a shortcut. So let's dial in the 218 on the tail. Alright. Ooh. There. 210, 215, and 218. That should do it. Because I imagine she will ask us to join the departure at that point. Okay, manifold pressure's dropping. Let's boost it a little bit. See what our rate of climb is, 1500. Let's lower it a little bit. Clear direct Lang, join the Van Nuys to departure for Legacy 6 Papa Whiskey. Alright, so let's do this.
Piper 3 Yankee Zulu, contact Central Bridge.
Direct. Flight plan. Lang. Activate.
Piper 7 3 Yankee Zulu, contact
And then
Central Bridge
nav.
135.4.
Alright. So, direct Lang joined the Van Nuys 2 departure. Okay.
There's 619 Mike Charlie.
We've got somebody 5,000 feet above us, descending, but they're behind us, no factor. We got 3 guys in front. They're below our nose. That's fine. I think we need to lower our nose, build up some speed.
Pepper 73 Yankee Zulu, SoCal approach Ontario.
And let's arm that altitude. There we go.
Remain outside Chino, Delta airspace. Proceed direct Ontario Airport.
So now we're at 29. We don't need that much power. There we go. And our speed is increasing. 130 knots. It's a good climb speed.
5.
So let's take a look at our engine parameters. Manifold 27.8, RPM 2400. Pressure is good. Temperature is good. Volts and amps are good. Gallons per hour 10. I like that. PSI 27. And we got lots of fuel. And it looks like we're leaned pretty good. The cylinders in the front are running slightly hot, which is good. Okay, and there's 10,000 feet, so we can take off our landing lights.
6 Papa Whiskey, contact level center 125.27.
Los Angeles Center 125.27 for 6 Papa Whiskey. 125.7. I hope I did that correctly. Nope. Let's go back. SoCal approach. It's Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey. Could I have that frequency again?
6 Papa Whiskey at 0.25.27 Los Angeles Center.
Los Angeles Center 125.27. Thank you. 125.27 for Los Angeles Center. And Los Angeles, yeah. Los Angeles Center. Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, climbing through 11,200 for 13,000.
6316 Papa Whiskey, Los Angeles Center, climb maintain plus 90.
You broke up. Can you say again? 6 Papa Whiskey.
Lexi 316 Papa Whiskey, Los Angeles Center, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Up to 190 for Legacy 6 Papa Whiskey. Alright. 190. Now, I am not leaning this engine too good because we're losing power, and it's because we weren't leaning. There, I'm pulling back the mixture, and you can hear the power bite. I know this can get into the 1500s here, and we'll be okay. So we're above 10,000. Let's put our oxygen on so we don't pass out. Because this aircraft is very cool. It models hypoxia. Alright. So we are on our way. Just need to keep an eye on our airspeed. We're not climbing very good, but we've built up some speed, and the engine's running much better now. So let's go for 1,000 feet a minute. So I'm leaning, and you can hear the engine RPM picking up.
Those are chiefly saying outside for the parking vehicle over this way, because we have a great day.
So I'm not quite sure what I should be leaning to, whether it's this TIT or these guys. But we will get the performance. I don't think I've flown at 19,000 feet. I don't think I've flown that high yet in this aircraft. So our speed has come down to 130, but we're climbing at 1,000 feet a minute. And we're going to continue to lean. We're at about 50% of the throw on the mixture dial. Let's see what it says here. 66%. All right. So, got the engine running hot, and by that I mean we're getting good performance, I think, out of it. Not that it's overheating, because we are keeping an eye on the readout here, the VMC 2000, or whatever it's called. Vision Microsystems, the VM1000C. Pretty handy little device. Alright, so must be getting good performance. Our speed is climbing ever so slightly while we are doing 1,000 feet a minute. Okay, I'm going to lean her a little bit more and we'll listen for the engine sound change. Doing pretty good.
Two Delta XRF, I can't place your speed, have a great day. Skyhawk 7256 and then contact local approach 125.4.
Seems we have the skies pretty much to ourselves. We turn on traffic here on my ForeFlight. We don't have the skies to ourselves, but nobody's a factor. Alright. So to fly the I-5, they recommended a turboprop. And that's why I tried to take out the Duke, but it wasn't performing. But this thing flies like a fighter plane. And with this half bubble canopy, the view is spectacular, and you don't have a huge honking engine right here to interfere with your view. Now this aircraft is what they call slippery. It goes fast and it doesn't want to slow down, and that's why they've equipped it with air brakes. Not spoilers, air brakes. They're recessed in the wing, and I'll show you briefly. And they work. They work really good. So when it comes to slowing down and descending, this sucker wants to go fast. You pop out those speed brakes, and things will work out. What I like to do is to pull up the prop and slow down first, and drop a notch of flaps, maybe even the landing gear, and then let her come down when I want to descend in a hurry.
And remain outside Chino airspace, and then you maneuver it all over the place, and then kind of wiggle your way up there. Contact Ontario Tower 120.6.
Yeah, it's a challenge, this PilotEdge, that is for sure. You have to fly your aircraft and handle it well, whether on autopilot or by hand, and listen and follow to instructions. And they don't waste any words, so everything they say is important. what was getting me was when I was getting cleared for approach, you get 3 pieces of information: turn this heading, descend to this altitude, and then cleared for the ILS approach, whatever. And my head would be on fire trying to deal with all those pieces of information at the same time, and got discombobulated a couple times. But the thing to do is just go with what you know, what you heard. Tell them that, and tell them you didn't hear the rest, and they'll go again. It's common, and it sure beats screwing up your test / examination, whatever that might be. Okay, there's some more leaning. You can hear the engine picking up power, and our speed had dropped off considerably. And look at that, our temperatures of our have fallen. So we need to run this engine a little hotter, so to speak. Oh, it's even got a little bit more juice. I could hear it. Picked up. But we're almost at 19,000 feet, 18.5.
South 516 Delta Mike, so Cal approach. Over Elmo, cleared ILS, correction, cleared VOR Alpha approach. So expect straight in, runway 21, altimeter 3015 by jet weather.
Right. So we are at cruise, and this is a simple aircraft to fly. We've got some rudder trim we can employ, or aileron trim. No cowl flaps. Nothing to do but manage the engine, speed, and altitude. Okay. So we're at 19,000, holding steady, and our aircraft is accelerating. See if we can get the engine to run a little hotter. Yep, temperature's picking up. So there's a lot to learn about how to lean the engine as you climb to maintain maximum power. I don't think I was achieving it, but I'm going to try to push it as far as I can and still keep it in the green without power dropping. Alright, I'm going to put it at 24 inches of manifold pressure, and we're going to pull back the props to 2400. Alright. See how good we're doing. 279 knots, 280 knots over the ground. And we're not done yet. Throttle's only about 75%. Yeah, mid 1500s, that's as high as I've had her in the past. And I'm going to pull back the prop, the mixture a little bit. And we lost engine power. So I enrich it, and the tempo picks up. So I think we are not lean of peak or rich of peak, we're at peak. So anything under 1600 I think is good. And now look at the cylinder temperatures. They've come down. Nothing is in the yellow because it's much colder up here. And that reminds me, we have our OAT, our outside air temperature. So it's minus 17 outside. We got good cooling going on and good performance out of the engine. It's running hot performance-wise, as I say. And we're indicating 188 knots, 250 true, but 285 over the ground, because we also have a 42 knot tailwind. Gotta love it. Alright, so we're going to be there quick. Alright, we got Daggett coming up in about 50 miles, I think. So Daggett is 113.2. Alright, yeah, 54.3 miles. Daggett is a funny VOR. At about 54 miles, you get nothing. You can't pick it up. You get no signal. So I think we might have just crossed the threshold because we picked it up right away. But when I flew it earlier, at 60 miles, I had nothing. All right. So let's start thinking about runway 1. One left, one right in Vegas. So let's see. We have ways to go to get to Daggett. When we get to Daggett, we'll tune up the Addons. So the weather in Vegas right now is winds are 070 at 6 knots. Visibility is 10 square miles, statute miles. Few clouds at 10,000. Scattered at 25. Temperature 18. Dew point -3. It's a pretty big spread. And altimeter 29908. And speaking of altimeter, we are at past transition, so we should be at 29902. So we have to climb 200 more feet. Let's take a look at what our fuel flow has been. 10.6. That's pretty respectable. That's like Cessna range. We can fly much higher, much faster, but we can't carry much of anything.
3 Yankees, do you have your landing clearance? You are clear to land.
Alright, so let's look at some procedures for runway 1. We have a localizer DME for 01 left, but not for 01 right. So, call me crazy, I think that's what we're going to be assigned. So I have that plate up on my foreflight, and if that becomes the case, I'll be ready. So we're 40 miles out from Daggett now. I hadn't noticed before how little fuel this thing sips at altitude when leaned. $290 knots over the ground now. We are booking in a huge way. Alrighty. Well, we've got somebody ahead of us, but 3,000 feet below us, 2,700 feet below us. And we'll never see them. They're under our nose. And they're about 8 miles out.
Again and for practice and keep going. That's totally fine. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just missing your turn there. Okay. Number 3 Yankees, you might want to extend. Looks like you're not extending your downwind there enough. You're turning your base a little early. That's 50, Tango traffic reserved. Radar service terminated. Change to advise frequency approved. Port charge bar cancellation. Events approach to 3. Sky 67, my contact. Channel monitor tower 120.1.
Sounds great. I swear, it sounds like a P-51 Mustang. Although I've only flown the Mustang a tiny little bit. It flies more like the Mustang than any other aircraft I've flown in the simulator world. Or in the real world, for that matter. I've only flown one aircraft in real life. 10 hours of lessons in a Cessna 152.
YCNG on departure flighting 240, maintain view flight above 2,400, departure frequency 128.1, squawk 4604.
So that's the guy who just failed his V3 a while ago. And he's giving her. He's out there doing it some more. 295 knots over the ground now. With a 44 knot quartering tailwind.
OSNG Rebecca.
We're now 20 miles out from Daggett. So I was all tuned up for a difficult departure, and it appears Geneva gave us a shortcut to Lang, and nice and simple. Maybe they do that on purpose to throw you off. Whatever your best laid plans are, ATC, you know, you gotta follow what they say because it's an IFR flight. This may be my go-to aircraft for I ratings. It's fun to fly, fast as hell. The challenge is the landing, slowing down for your approach. So you got to think ahead, plan ahead. And my question for anybody out there who views this video, while trying to get the feel of this aircraft, what I do is I just pull out the prop and control the descent to slow down. But I keep hearing about this shock cooling, and if I'm at like 8,000 feet and I'm just humming along at 200 knots, if I just pull out the throttle, is that something that will likely damage the engine, this shock cooling? Some people refer to it as mythical. I don't know. Your thoughts, comments are very welcome. I would like to get to the bottom of this. But in case all that fails, we have our handy dandy speed brakes, which are ridiculously effective. So our guy hasn't passed out yet, and oxygen is working. Let's check our enunciation panel. Oxygen's on, pitot heat, strobe lights, nav lights. That's what we want to see. Alright, so we are on Daggett. We just passed over Daggett, so now we are on the Star. Let's see what we can do about giving Addons a call, or listening in. 132.4.
So, 6 up Mike, active parking, let's see it.
132.4 for Addons. And let's listen. Well, I'm looking at Sky Vector here. And Las Vegas is variable at 3 knots, 10 statute miles, few clouds at 10,000, scattered at 25. That looks like temperature 19 and dew point -3, 2, 9 or 9 or 6 or 5, not quite sure. My screen resolution is not that great. But I also have it here on my foreflight. Variable 3 knots, 10,000, view scattered 25,000, temperature 19, dew point -3, altimeter 2, 9 or 9 or 6. So we'd be ready with the 2, 9 or 9 or 6. Or I'm sure they'll tell us. But in either case, we'll be ready. What are we doing now? And what are we doing next? We're getting prepared for that. So we already know that the arrival sorry. Let's go to flight plan and all the way down, and then Las Vegas. We're going to add the procedure, and I believe it's going to be 1 left because there is no 1 right. And the 1s are the active. So we're going to go for vectors or Wompa. I am not sure about those vectors.
OSCNG, downline tower, runway 20 right at Kilo Pacific.
I don't even see this cruddy here. Excuse me. Let's try this other one. Wompa. Nope. Let's just leave it vectors for now.
Lexi 6 Papa Whiskey, contact Los Angeles Center 126.35.
Los Angeles Center 126.35 for 6 Papa Whiskey. I hope that's the Los Angeles Center, and it is. Alright.
Represent 3 Yankee Blue Tax Parking via Sierra, and we'll see you on the next one.
Los Angeles Center, Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, level at 19,000.
Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, Los Angeles Center, cross wig at maintain 13,000, Las Vegas, correction 12,000, 12,000, Las Vegas, altimeter 299.6.
Can I have that intersection and altitude again? 6 Papa Whiskey.
Legacy 6 Papa Whiskey, wig, intersection,
Wig.
12,000.
Wig intersection at 12,000 for 6 Papa Whiskey.
Aircraft contact.
Alright. Let's go to my nav log here. Okay, so wig is in there. So let's do this. We want to go to wig at 12,000. Enter. And we want to descend to 1,000 feet per minute. And alright, so we can descend now. So let's take out the power. And 112,000. Whoop. Alright, and the vertical speed is
cloud at 2000. Temperature 18. Dew point -4. Altimeter 2997. ILS runway 25 left and ILS runway 25 right is landing and departing runway 25 left and runway 25 right. VFR aircraft stay direction of flight. All aircraft reach back full short.
Okay, 12,000. We'll arm it. Arm it. And then down at 1,000 feet. And we might need a little bit more now with all that messing around. Okay. And we're going to be there a mile ahead, offset by 1 mile. So we need 1,051 feet, and we've got 1,000 dialed in. Alright. And let me kill that Addons now that we're in range. Okay.
Airport 654 Lima, clear to Las Vegas Airport via the runway 16 departure procedure. Needles, Victor 237 Boulder City direct. Maintain 7,000, expect 8,000. 1 limits after departure. Departure frequency 124.85. Squawk 4210.
Oh, there it is right there on the chart. WIG at 12,000. Well, that's the wrong chart. Creso, yeah.
Airport 654 Lima, reach back right.
Sure, it's taking its time. Make sure everything's still cool. Pull back the power, going a little bit faster. 290 over the ground.
Already, radar contact departure 128.1.
Right, so we get 12,000. And we should make that. Alright, that PDF finally came up here. So there it is, WIG. Expect to cross at 12,000. Okay. And nothing after that. So at Creso, we're probably going to be turned left. And it might be a straight in from there.
Argentina 746 John clear to Las Vegas Airport, months of departure, dagger transition, ads filed, maintain 5,000, expect flight over 2701 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 6236.
Alright. The localizer is 110.1, and our GTN has already dialed it in for us, so that's great. Let us check our descent. So now we need, let's go to 1,200 feet to get there on time. Let's take out the power a little bit more. Okay, so we're approaching WIG. WIG is about 12 miles out at this point. There it is. So this Legacy, like other real air aircraft, you see this little plus sign, you click on it, it zooms you in. You right click on it, you're back to your regular view. Here's a click spot. Gets you in nice and close. Here's another click spot. Gets you in nice and close. And it just makes things a lot easier and almost effortless. Oh, we do have somebody out there. And what range is that? About 10 miles away. Not sure we'd ever pick them up. Probably out here somewhere. Look at that dirty windscreen. I love it. Alright, so we're coming up on WIG and we are at 13,200, so things are working out well.
Air 73, gentlemen, clearance again.
We're going to get turned very shortly, I think. See how this works out. That's the line for our vectors. The final.
Air 465, we'll head ground runway 16, taxi off. Air 73, Yankee Zulu, gentlemen, clearance.
Alright, so we'll see when he's going to turn us.
November 73, Yankee Zulu, gentlemen, clearance.
Okay, we're on with Los Angeles Center. He's probably going to swap us over to approach. And approach is 125.025.
RTN 746.
125.025. All right. 125.02. All right.
RTN 746, push on mountain.
And tower's going to be 118.75.
Contact Las Vegas, approach 125.9.
Say again the frequency for 6 Papa Whiskey.
125.9.
125.9er for Legacy, 6 Papa Whiskey. 59er. Las Vegas approach. Okay. Las Vegas approach, Legacy, 316 Papa Whiskey, level at 12,000.
Mountain South Limiter 3014. And OPNG, this has failed for the V3 because you were, again, are in violation of Bravo airspace.
Oh my
You're
God.
inside the Bravo airspace now.
That guy failed twice in one afternoon.
Bravo airspace without a clearance. You cannot enter airspace
996.
without a clearance, unless you have an emergency. Pay attention.
Alright. We missed our turn for vectors, but not to worry. Alright. It's very quiet. Let's check again. Las Vegas approach.
573 Yankees, gentlemen, Clarence, how do you read? Alright, I've been answering. Go ahead. 73 Yankee Zulu, Roger. For the beast, 2 on departure flighting 330, maintain VFR at below 2,400. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 1563.
So while we're waiting to call, we're going to slow up. Las Vegas approach, Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, level 12000.
Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, Las Vegas approach, clear direct Las Vegas Airport, and maintain 7000, vector visual approach, only 1 left.
Say again for 6 Papa Whiskey.
Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, Las Vegas approach, clear direct Las Vegas Airport, descend and maintain 7000, vector visual approach, only 1 left. Advise you have weather, altimeter 299.6.
Alright. Cleared direct Las Vegas for visual 01 approach, and I have the weather down to 7000 for Legacy 6 Pop Whiskey.
Enter 37 Whiskey Bullhead Tower, enter right downwind runway 16.
All right, and let's see about this. Direct Las Vegas.
Arcane 746, runway 20 right, taxi via Alpha Lima, hold short, runway 20 left.
All right, let's just go direct, and flight plan. Let's just go nearest airport, Las Vegas.
Lima,
right.
Bullhead Tower, traffic is,
oh, look. We are lined up.
Inbound on extended downwind, west of the airport. Wind.
Okay.
2204, runway 16 pickup.
So we are direct Las Vegas.
37 Whiskey, traffic a Hyper Aztec departing runway 16 IFR.
I don't think that's for us. Some other whiskey dude.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, so we're descending, and we should start thinking about slowing up as well.
Lexi 6 Pop Whiskey, report the airport inside.
Okay.
Lexi 6 Pop Whiskey, report the airport inside.
I don't have the airport in sight, 6 Pop Whiskey.
Let me know when you get it.
Roger that, will do. Oh my god.
573 Yankee Zulu, John Lake ground runway 20 right at Kilo, taxi via Bravo Kilo.
Okay. I can't be what's underneath me. I thought I saw something like an airport right there. Is that it? No, that's something else. Oh, that's Henderson. It's Henderson. Alright. There we go, there's Vegas. Las Vegas approach, Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey, runway in sight.
Lexi 6 Papa Whiskey, service approach runway 1 left, contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75.
Cleared visual approach for 01 left, contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75, 6 Papa Whiskey. 8.75. Alright, and let's get this sucker down. Whoa. Las Vegas Tower, Legacy 316 Papa Whiskey is 5 miles southwest of Henderson, inbound for 01 left visual.
316 Papa Whiskey, Las Vegas Tower, only one left, clear line.
Clear to land, 1 left, 6 Papa Whiskey.
37 Whiskey, runway 16, clear line.
Alright, so
Clear land, runway 16.
let us swap the frequency in. We go to our plate, and the heading is 010.
John Wayne, Argentina 746, 20 left at Lima for 20 right.
Wow, she is squirrely as hell. I think it's time for some speed brakes.
I say 425 for them, Los Angeles Center, I-10.
There they go. Out they come.
Argentina 746, John Wayne Tower, cross runway 20 left, runway 20 right, close takeoff.
Okay, runway elevation's about 2187. Okay, so we need to get down to about 3,000 feet, 3,200 feet. And look at us, we're dropping like a stone at 2,500, almost 3,000 feet a minute. So in another minute, we'll be all good. So I'm going to put down our gear right now to help us out. I think I am.
OSPNG downwind clearance to the V3 on departure flighting 240.
Okay, speed brakes are up.
Departure frequency 1 to 8.1, squawk 3732.
Alright, let's get this sucker behaving.
240 departure, Edit Blue 2400, departure 128.1, squawk 3732.
Alright.
OSPNG reback.
Okay, get some good trim going on here. Need to really get our speed down. And soon. Okay. Alright, mixture rich, props full. Gas on the both tanks. And getting the trim squared away. And flaps to full. And we're a little low. So now we can add back some power. And our speed is low. Let's add back a lot of power.
500.
Runway Tower, Piper November 73 Yankee Zulu at 20 right. Ready for takeoff, VFR to Ontario.
Piper 73 Yankee Zulu, John Wayne Tower, hold short, traffic 737 departure.
Yeah, looks like a shark fin going up the field. 3 Yankee Zulu.
Okay.
Senior 707 Charlie Papa.
So hopefully this is the landing we can stick.
Airport on departure flight heading 250. Radar vectors. By the way, this would be a full
And one to be proud of.
Radar vectors. Mission Bay 2903 radio.
Got a slight crosswind.
Pebble. Steel Beach 148 radio. Steel Beach. Victor 23. Los Angeles. Los Angeles 316 radio. Silex. Direct. Maintain 3,000. Expect 8,000. 1 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.
Well, that's a respectable landing. I'll take that one in the bank. And look at that. I had the yaw dampener on. Ugh. Gotta remember to take the damn yaw dampener off.
6 miles northwest of Neos, you are clear direct.
And we missed our turn. Okay, there's the airport. We're turning right. Okay. Let's pull the elevator back. Slow this sucker down.
6 Papa Whiskey, exit to the left when able if you're going to the west side parking.
Okay. Exiting to the left right now. 6 Papa Whiskey.
6 Papa Whiskey, taxi parking via Sierra Hotel, pass for the I-5. Good job, we'll see you.
Over to parking via Sierra Hotel, and thanks for the pass, 6 Papa Whiskey. Over to parking by Sierra and Hotel, thanks for the pass, 6 Papa Whiskey.
Parking 746, SoCal departure, ready to
Okay, so let's put the parking brake on, and let's clean up. Strobes off, and landing lights, we never put them on, and we never put our fuel boost on. Okay. And let's go up with the flaps. And trim is pretty near where we need it for the next flight. So, by Sierra and Hotel. Oh, we only used about 60% of the runway. Alright, so let's give it some gas.
Piper 3 Yankee Zulu, runway 20 right at Kilo, clear to takeoff, wind 2.
And there is Vegas. Welcome to Vegas, everybody. So this has got to be Orbx scenery because I didn't do this. I got Orbx SoCal, and that's all I have down in this neck of the woods.
Caution late turbulence and wind 200 at 10 gust 14. Alright, 3 Yankee Zulu, radar contact. Contact departure.
Over to the departure, 3 Yankee Zulu.
Okay, so with that drama over, radios can go off, and nav lights can come off, I suppose. Everything's off except pitot heat, that can come off. And fuel to cut off. Mags to off. And master battery off. Alright. Disconnect from PilotEdge. And let's have a look outside this gorgeous aircraft. And some pretty decent scenery. Alright, well, welcome to Vegas, and thanks for joining me on this successful first attempt at the I-5, Burbank to Vegas. Alright, well, stay tuned, more I ratings coming up. They may be passes, they may be fails. I've had 2 fails so far. I like to think I've taken them to heart and learned the lessons that I need to learn. And I think the one that I'm worried about the most is the I-10. That's going to be NDB navigation. So I'll have to practice offline, getting familiar with the NDB again. And please come on back to the Pilot Wannabe channel for further PilotEdge action and perhaps some even PilotEdge and FS Economy action. So till then, Pilot Wannabe saying so long.